Just don't shank me or anything. All right, we are on YouTube and let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Today is July 26th, 2024. The time is 9:02 in the morning. My name is David Barkley. I'm the associate judge handling CPS cases here in Johnson County, Texas. And I have the ability and capability to do adoptions that come out of CPS cases. This is one of those. It came out of Tarrant County, Texas. And this is cause number DC-A 2024-00024 in the interest of Zachary John Kapik. We are here today for the adoption. I'll take judicial notice of the entire contents of the court's file. I've had an opportunity to review the HESIG report, the criminal history reports, the home studies, and the order of termination. I'll note that Tarrant County signed an order of termination on January 9th, 2023, that more than 90 days has passed since the signing of this final order, and that this child, Zachary, has resided with the Sharps for more than 6 months. We're ready to proceed forward with an adoption. We'll do introductions, and we'll start with you, Mr. Pascal.
Thank you, Your Honor. Belker Pascal, here this morning appearing by Zoom. I represent Elizabeth and Hosek Sharp. They're the petitioners that are standing in front of you. They're willing and ready to proceed, as I am as well. I would note that Stephanie Smith is here from OCOK as well. And also Jenna, used to be Lightseed, Jenna now McDaniel here from Arrow as well.
Thank you. And are you ready to swear in your witnesses?
Yes, sir.
I would ask for Hosek and Elizabeth Sharp and Arrow and CPS all raise your right hands. Do each one of you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Hosek? I'm sorry, Ms. Sharp?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
And Ms. Tell me again what it is. And Ms. McDaniel. You may all put your hands down. And Mr. Pascal, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Elizabeth Sharp first. Elizabeth, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Elizabeth, state your name, please.
Elizabeth Sharp?
And Elizabeth, you're married to Hosek, aren't you?
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly, Hosek?
Hosek.
Hosek. Thank you very much. And you all are here this morning asking Judge Barkley to approve your adoption of Zachary. Is that correct?
Correct.
And as part of this proceeding, you also asked him to change Zachary's name somewhat. Is that correct as well?
Correct.
You feel like this adoption is the best thing for Zachary?
Yes.
And the best thing for your family too? You think it's the best thing for your family also?
Yes.
Okay. With Zachary's full name is Zachary John Kapik. Is that right?
Yes.
Hold on, we're still with Mom.
Oh,
So-
yes.
Okay. And Elizabeth, he was born back on June the 18th of 2016. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're prepared to adopt him today?
Yes.
You've gotten a lot of background information about Zachary, haven't you?
Yes.
And you got a chance to review that information too. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Ma'am, as far as his name goes, we'll change that name to Zachary Asher Sharp. Is that correct?
Correct.
Currently, the spelling for Zachary will remain the same, Zachery. Is that right?
Was that the spelling of his first name? I didn't hear the question.
Yes. And we're keeping it just the same as it has always
Yes,
been.
same spelling for first name. Yes.
And his middle name would be Asher, spelled Asher.
Correct.
Okay. Ma'am, you promised to raise Zachary as best you know how to do?
Yes.
In fact, you've been doing that every day since he's been living with you guys, haven't you?
Correct.
We're not going to change what you do every day, but you understand this legally does make you Zachary's mom.
Yep.
And you look forward to that?
Yes.
And you promise to raise him and give him the values that you all share in your household.
Yes.
And to give him the nurture and the protection and the guidance that you have to give him
Yes.
for as long as you're able to do that.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I don't have any further questions for Elizabeth, Your Honor.
You may call your next witness.
And that's Hosek.
Go
So
ahead.
state your name. State your name, please.
Hosek Sharp?
Hosek, you're married to Elizabeth, are you?
Yes.
And you also are asking Judge Barkley to approve your adoption of Zachary today. Is that correct?
Yes.
And to establish that permanent relationship of father and son between yourself and him.
Yes.
Do you also believe that's the best thing for Zachary
Yes.
and the best thing for your family also?
Yes.
And do you also promise to give him all the love and the protection and the nurture and the guidance that you have to give him
Yes.
for as long as you are able to do so as well?
Yes.
And you understand that's a lifetime obligation and a lifetime responsibility, but also a lifetime opportunity to parent and love these children.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. No further questions for Hosick, Your Honor.
And who's your next witness?
Stephanie Smith.
She's been sworn and you may proceed.
Thank you. Stephanie, state your name, please.
Stephanie Smith?
And Stephanie, you're here this morning on behalf of OCOK. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you all have consented to the adoption. Is that right?
Yes.
And do you also think this is the best thing for Zachary?
Absolutely.
And he is in a home in which he is safe and loved and cared for and protected every day, isn't he?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Thank you very much.
No.
I appreciate that. No further questions for Stephanie, Your Honor.
And your final witness is
That's Jenna McDaniel.
Ms. McDaniel. Come forward 2 steps up and you may proceed, Belker.
Thank you. Jenna, state your name, please.
Jenna McDaniel?
And Jenna, you're here this morning on behalf of Arrow Child and Family Ministries. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you all also believe this is the best thing for Zachary. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And your agency has prepared reports for the court in this matter. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you've had a chance to visit with the family in their home, haven't you?
Yeah.
And do you personally think this is the best thing for Zachary?
Yeah.
What else would you want to add?
About it.
There very much. That's fine. No further questions for Jenna, Your Honor.
What relief are you requesting, Mr. Belker?
I would request the court would grant the adoption this morning, change Zachary's name to Zachary Asher Sharp as requested in the petition.
Thank
And
you.
finally, to order sealing of the court's file.
Thank you. Is there a CASA volunteer that's present? No? All right. Well, then I'm ready to make my ruling. And this is by far the best way to start a morning and the best way to end a week. I'm going to approve the adoption. I recognize how much y'all love this child. And I'm glad there's family like yours that have lots of love to spare and give. All of your children are blessed to have you as their parents. And so today, Zachary is going to have a forever parents, and that's going to be y'all. I'll approve the adoption. I'll change the name. The child formerly known as Zachary John Kapnick shall now hereby forever be known as Zachary Asher Sharp. Mom and Dad, it is as if this child was born to you. Congratulations.